Fish and Chums!
Hi everybody, old Gare out here to Fishing Shack, and we have the end of June fishing report. My gosh, a couple days, it's going to be July already, and it feels like it, doesn't it? So that's what I want to start the report out with today. Be sure to take plenty of water with you when you're going out this weekend, because it's brutal. The heat index anywhere from 105 to over 110. So be sure to take plenty of water. We've got some pretty good reports for you here on the Big Little Show today. We have excellent fishing out at Table Rock. I've been out there 3 times this week, and every time we've really found a lot of fish. And I want to start off by showing you this graph, shot of the fish and the shad that I've been getting into. Now this is the key out at Table Rock or Bull Shoals, any good lake this weekend. Get out and go point hopping on those long runouts, those hard points. Anywhere, we've caught them from 18 to 30, 35 feet of water. But around that 25 feet seems to be really strong. And just go point hopping and go back and forth on these points till you find shad, like you're just seen here on that shot of my graph. Find the big balls of shad. I promise you're going to be able to catch fish. And you can use drop shots, have been working real good. And now I have some points I've been hopping on, picking up a few walleye. So you can drop shot the walleye with a live night crawler. You may want to try this. So these points with all that bait, in fact that particular picture you've seen, that particular point I've been fishing has all kinds of bait. A lot of shad. Oh, just all kinds of shad. It has small perch. It has crawdads on it. It's a smorgasbord for these fish because they jump up on that thing, and I mean, they have all kinds of food there. So that's the key. Catch a lot of fish in big old fat spots. And I caught a smallmouth the other day. It crowd 5 pounds. A nice walleye. We've caught some nice walleye. You don't go out there and catch a lot of walleye, but the fish you do catch are really nice. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pounds. So try that this upcoming weekend. Now, the drop shot fishing is good at Table Rock. Don't overlook the early morning hours because it's going to be quite hot out there. Get up extra early and do some topwater fishing. And as we know, if you happen to hit an overcast day, these fish can come up at any time. And so be sure to have that topwater bait handy because there's been some nice fish caught on Table Rock in the early morning hours. And by the way, the last few days, a couple days ago when we was out on Tuesday and Wednesday, we had a lot of wind. And that makes a big difference on these points, especially for walleye. So if you have a windy morning, late morning, don't be afraid to go out there and try to grab a walleye. And so Table Rock looks good. Drop shot fishing, spoons, I tell you what, spooned up a couple good fish the other day. Your 1/2 ounce spoons, 3/4 spoons will work. See all these shad, don't be afraid, especially if it's a little finicky with a drop shot, put that spoon down there and pop it. You're going to catch some fish. Other than that, swim baits have been working. I like grubs this time of the year and swim baits, especially as I mentioned on last week's program, when those schools of shad are up there and the bass are hitting, they don't want to hit that top water. Go to the swim bait on about a 1/2 ounce jig head. Go to a grub. Go to these underspins. As I mentioned on last week's program, I caught a lot of fish on that underspin. They don't want to hit that top water, but they're in there feeding on shad. Get that underspin. Get that grub out. Grab something, a swim bait, and just kind of work it back to the boat. You'll catch fish. This is for sure. Been picking up some fish on buzz baits. Gosh, your favorite topwater bait. Pop-Rs, spooks, junior spooks. Get out there and try Table Rock this weekend, and don't overlook those long points. Once that sun gets up, you're going to catch fish. Okay, let's go over to Lake Taneycomo. I just want to start off with, it's been the same report the last couple of weeks. They're running water late morning, early afternoon. Early morning's been a little bit tough. And if you get in that situation, go to a small jig, like a 32nd ounce brown or olive green jig. Pitch that out on 2 or 4 pound test line when they're not running any water. That might save the day to you until they start running water. But I wanted to show you this photo. My old buddy Don King sent me this a couple of days ago when I was out in Arizona for the winter earlier in the year. Look at this huge brown trout caught at Lake Taneycomo. That is a monster fish. I've been wanting to show this to you, boy, that will get your fishing fever up. What a beautiful, beautiful big fish caught earlier in the year at Lake Taneycomo. Okay, let's go to Bull Shoals. Hey, a variety of fishing has taken place out there. We've had good topwater fishing at times. Try your favorite topwater baits. They've been doing buzz baits. They've been whopper floppers. They've been doing spooks, junior spooks. You know the program. And then in the mid morning, go out on those long runs. Do like table rock. Get your drop shot out there. And they've been picking up some fish on football jigs around the bluff ends too. And go around those bluffs and look for shad. If you find shad, do some swim baits, anything you want to do to try to catch some of those bass, because they have been running those bluffs right now at Bull Shoals. And walleye, they've been picking up some walleye out there, and they're using just bottom bouncers with night crawlers, anywhere from 25 to 30 feet of water, 35 feet. Also some of the flats on the ledges of the flats, use those bottom bouncers. I'll tell you another thing that I've been doing. You can just, when they're a little finicky, they don't want that bottom bouncer, get out there at Bull Shoals and just use about 6-pound test, 8-pound at the most. Do a split shot up above your small hook, maybe about 8-10 inches, and just hook that night crawler right in the collar or the nose. Get it down there to the bottom till you have slack line, crank it up one time, and this will catch some fish and walleye for you when it's tough, believe me. Let's go over to Stockton Lake. Been a little tough out there the last few days with all this heat. The walleye is kind of slacked off a little bit, so if you go out there this weekend, you may want to try my little method of the small hook and a little split shot with a night crawler. They've been picking up some fish on jig and night crawlers, but it has slowed with all the heat and humidity out at Stockton. Crappie, though, they've been going out on those flats. Excuse me, they've been going out on the flats at Stockton, and at times when you find the big balls of shad, 25, 35, 45 feet of water, you'll see some crappie up in those big balls of shad. Get down there and vertically fish it with a jig or jig and minnow. In fact, look at Rick Flint. He was out just a couple days ago out of Stockton. Look at this table of really nice quality crappie that he caught. So Stockton may be good for crappie. Boy, I tell you what, it might pick a few walleye up there, but it's getting a little slower. Let's go out of Truman Lake. Truman's been pretty good. They've had some weather out there, as you folks out there know. Just like Stockton on these big flats, get out there and look for the big schools of shad on these flats. Use your electronics, and once you find these huge schools of shad, I tell you what, get in there, and that can be the same way as Stockton. 25, 35, 40 feet of water. They're suspended in those balls of shad in anywhere from 15 to 18 to 20 feet of water. So try Truman this weekend. You might pick yourself up some really nice crappie. I love Truman. By the way, the hybrid fishing, we call them wipers in some areas of the country, they're catching some nice ones out there. They're picking up some fish on the humps and on the edge of the flats, and some big white bass. At times the whites have been coming up schooling, so that may be a good bet for the upcoming weekend. And the blue cats have been running pretty good. They're spawning, I understand, and they're catching these fish on small perch and also shad. So Truman looks good for the upcoming weekend. Out Lake the Ozarks, the same summer patterns happening out there right now. The crappie are way off the bank, anywhere from 12, 15, 18, 20 feet of water in the brush piles, jig and minnow combination, and around some of the docks out there that has some shade on them. That's what I'm trying to say. Over at Norfolk Lake, it's slowing down a little bit, but they are picking up some nice limits of walleye at times in the morning hours off the points. You want to get a little deeper now, 25, 35 feet of water, jig and night crawlers, and they've been picking up some fish on spoons out there as well, some walleye on spoons, and so give that a look. Well, that's about it for the day. Boy, it's going to be hot out there this weekend, folks. I'm telling you, take plenty of water. I've had a severe heat stroke. You don't want that to happen. Believe me, you don't want that to happen. So take care of yourself. I want to thank you for being on the show today, the little report. And of course, we urge you to share and like. Tell your friends about it, because as I say every week on the program, we like to talk about several lakes. We like to talk about catfish, walleye, crappie, white bass, hybrids, bass, bluegill, anything. And be sure to share and like. And if you have any photos, we've got a lot of photos this week. And any information you'd like to share with us, just go to our email. Email us at fishingchums@gmail.com. God bless you all. Be safe this weekend. Happy outdoors, everyone.